Now I've created my screw, I've inserted it into my assembly. I want to add some mates to it. So this needs to be centered in this jaw. The width mate will work perfect for that. So I'll activate mate. I'll scroll down to the advanced mates and I'll select the width mate. And I'll select these two faces of my screw, and then I'll just, to make it easy, I'll select this face and this face of the vise, and I've added the width mate. I'll accept that, and next I want a concentric mate between this and this. I have to go back into the standard mates and tell it concentric. I'll accept that, and I'll close my mates. Now that this is mated, I want to use the thread on the screw to cut the thread into the left jaw, and as before, if I do this properly, it'll also be cut into the right jaw. To do this, I'm going to have to edit this part. So I'll select the part, select edit part, and then I want to turn on no external references. I'm going to use the cavity command as we did before to cut the thread into here. And as we saw earlier, if we don't use no external references, every time I move this, it's going to want to update. And I don't want to do that. I just want to cut the cavity and not have it continuously update as this part moves around. So next, I'm going to go to Insert, Molds, Cavity, and tell it where the screw interferes to create the cavity. Say OK. I'll accept this warning. Then I'll stop editing the part. And just to verify, I'll open up the right jaw. And here, we can see our thread. So I'll close this and save it. And I'll rebuild and save my assembly. The thread we just added should have a chamfer at each end. So I'm going to select the left jaw, and I'm going to tell it to open the part in its current position. So I would like this hole to have a chamfer on the end. So the first thing I'm going to do is roll back to before the cavity, and the hole will disappear. But I'm going to add a hole here with the chamfer on the correct position. So I'm going to select this face. I'll look normal to it. Then I'll add a hole wizard hole. As the hole type, I'll add a standard drilled hole. The fractional drill sizes will be the easiest one, and I'll search for the 1332 drill. So I'll scroll up until I see 1332. I'll select it, and I want to add the chamfer. This is going to go through all. So I'll add a near and far side countersink of 90 degrees, and I'm going to make the size 0.550. For the position, we'll put it on center and push escape to stop adding points. I'll add a relationship, and I'll dimension from the bottom up 3/8. My sketch is fully defined, so I'll accept this. And then I'll go to the rollback bar and I'll roll it back after the cavity. And now I have a chamfer on my part. I'll rebuild and save, and that chamfer will be on both jaws. I'll close this and I'll return to the assembly. Here in the assembly, I've created a section view through the middle of my part. This way we can zoom in and we can see how nicely using the cavity command makes these parts align. So before you do anything else, do not move the jaws. We need to next add the screw mate and complete our assembly. If the jaws are moved before the screw mate is added, the screw and the cavity, the internal thread, won't line up perfectly. And the reason to do this is we might want to 3D print a functional assembly.